We are now being joined by Dr. Lada El Rosliki, who's the founder of Black Trident Defense and Security Consulting Group, Ukraine. Dr. Rosliki is joining us live from Kyiv. Welcome to the show and thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Now, Dr. Rosliki, Kyiv says that Russia fired an intercontinental ballistic missile at Ukraine early on Thursday morning. How do you view Russia threatening to attack Kyiv with its quote-unquote massive new missile? Now, there are reports of it preparing to fire its RS-26 at Ukraine. Where do you see this headed?
Well, I think it's important that people remember that Ukraine is being hit by hundreds of missiles and drones daily. So the media frenzy is calling attention to what Russia is calling an escalation caused by the United States. The new rockets that they are claiming that they were going to be using against Ukraine have not been tested. They've actually started being developed in the early 2000s. And of course, it's a horrific bomb weighing between 50 to 60 tons. And the damage that it would cause would just be incredible. But every single day, Ukraine is under massive, major attack, and the coverage of the effects thereof are just not making it into the press.
Are these massive missiles comparable with perhaps a nuclear threat as well, in your opinion?
No, because it's a different system. Although the RS systems actually do have the capacity to carry nuclear heads, and that entire narrative of we're going to have World War III, we're going to have nuclear war is really a mechanism of terror, information psychological operations against the allies of Ukraine. It's a terrible situation.
Do you see this getting escalated to a nuclear threat?
I don't see it escalated as a nuclear threat. I see it being escalated to a very powerful Russia that uses corruption as statecraft actually succeeding. And the hundreds of thousands of lives are disappearing every day.
Dr. Rosliki, while you say that this is media frenzy, where do you view it as standing, especially with Donald Trump now next coming to power? And let's not forget that he did say that he will end this war. Where do you see this headed?
Well, Donald Trump says a lot of things. Let's wait for him to get into office and see what his team is going to be doing in regard to the wars that are taking place on the planet, including Ukraine. We see shifts inside of rhetorical shifts, but yet we have not seen anything extreme happening that would make us very concerned. We're taking on an approach of a wait and see what happens. At the same time, we see Russia really saber rattling and causing hysteria, or at least trying to cause hysteria.
While it is being said that Trump 2.0 will be different, is there anything that you would go by looking at his previous presidency, given at his, when we talk about his defense policy? Is his previous presidency anything to go by, and what can you possibly perceive from that?
Well, in regard to Ukraine, I don't think that we have very much to go on with Trump. We really have to wait and see. The war, however, is very closely interconnected what we see developing in the Middle East. And there, I think that we will see a continuation and a strengthening of Trump's support in the war in the Middle East. So we have to take on, again, a wait and see. The best thing for Ukraine would be if its allies would just close Ukraine's skies. That would de-escalate and would save lives and a lot of money. Just terrible situation.
Dr. Rosliki, given your expertise, let me slip in another quick question. With the winter months looming in, how do you see Europe grappling and dealing with the energy situation in the continent?
Well, I think that Europe is going to be doing just fine. We see a little bit of shifts coming in from the European Union asking for better cooperation with the United States as far as energy is concerned. If we switch to energy security issues and look at what's happening in Ukraine, we are standing to lose thousands of people to dying from freezing. This morning, for instance, we again had no electricity. No electricity oftentimes means no water, and the winter months are just starting. So for Ukraine, it's a very, very terrible situation. Europe will figure it out. I think that this is actually something that the American Trump policy may be a positive aspect, that Europe is starting to understand it needs to get up on its own feet.
Dr. Roslicki, thank you so much for your insights and joining us on the broadcast today.
Thank you very much.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.